Hello, welcome to the second, or I guess officially third edition of the Planetary Pulse. We are looking ahead at the astrology of January 27th, the week of January 27th, 2025. And we are tapping into the energy so you can flow with the universe as you create your sacred business. So today is Monday, Moon Day, and we are in a balsamic moon phase. So that means that the light is getting darker and darker, and we're preparing for a new moon this week. So just checking in on your energy levels. I know my energy had dipped quite a bit these past few days, and that's pretty natural when you're tuning into the moon cycle. So if that's the case, give yourself a little extra time if you can to rest, to reflect on how this past lunar cycle has been for you, and just give yourself some grace. Okay, looks like we're having internet connection issues. Fingers crossed this is coming through. Looks like it's still recording. All right. So this is like I said, we're getting ready for a new moon, but today we have a planetary shift. Mercury is entering the sign of Aquarius, where Mercury will be traveling through February 14th. And so Mercury in Aquarius really widens our perspective, and it allows us to see the bigger picture. You might be able to start thinking outside of the box. And this is a good opportunity for you to take an objective look at your business. So stepping out of the day-to-day experiencing and looking at that larger picture. If you're someone who meditates or practices mindfulness, you might be familiar with this practice of kind of observing your thoughts, observing your feelings without being fully entangled in them. And so Mercury in Aquarius is great for that. And when we're thinking about our business, you can bring that mindful practice to looking at your finances, looking at your marketing, and you know, just looking at it as if from an outside perspective. And that can give you a lot of insight into what perhaps needs to shift. All right. So, um, on the day of the new moon, so the new moon happens on January 29th, and late January 28th into January 29th, Mercury will be conjunct Pluto at 1 degree, just as we're getting right into that new moon moment. So, this new moon in Aquarius is really infused with the energy of Mercury conjunct Pluto. So even as you're widening your perspective in that kind of Aquarian way, Pluto is going to take you deep into your thoughts, into a place of deep reflection. This is a great moment if you are doing some research. Perhaps, you've started to kind of look at your business and think about what needs to change. And now you can really dig deep into some research into how to make that happen and to gather up new ideas. Something to watch for with Mercury and Pluto coming together. There can be this obsessive nature. We might start ruminating. So, just being mindful to notice when that comes up and see if you can redirect that kind of intense thought process towards something that is going to support your new moon intentions. So, coming to that new moon in Aquarius happening on January 29th at 9 degrees of Aquarius. Um, this is, we're still in the early days of Pluto in Aquarius. And so this is a really powerful moment for you to look at the big long-term future of your business and really set intentions for what you want to create over the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. And it can feel um, like maybe it can feel challenging to expand your look into the future that far. But what's um, beautiful about being in that Aquarian space is that you're really um, allowing your vision to expand into what's possible and beyond what you perhaps thought was possible before. So really um, let yourself, again, it's that thinking outside of the box. So we're stepping out of the status quo, um, out of what you've considered to be real, and fixed, and like just the way things are, and allowing yourself to time travel to the future and imagine what could have possibly changed by then. Um, and so, with all of this uh, Aquarian energy, this Mercury in Aquarius, the new moon in Aquarius, Aquarius conjunct Pluto, I'm thinking about, um, you know, what maybe needs to change in order for me to really uh, feel empowered in my connections to a wider network. And so part of what, I've been hearing other practitioners and business owners start talking about, this network, you're kind of tapping into different ideas and connecting the dots, is this um, migration from Meta, Facebook and Instagram, and moving towards platforms that are more supportive of this network, um, and this empowering each individual, and their creativity and their expression. So I did just create a blue sky profile yesterday. So I'm gonna start playing around with that, and start moving in that direction. So I am so grateful for this community I have here. And so I'm not abandoning it by any means, but I am going to start shifting my energy into new possibilities for how I'm connecting with networks. So I'll drop my profile. So if you want to join me over on Blue Sky, I'm going to start posting some of my content there as well. All right, so back to the astrology. We have on January 30th a couple of different transits happening here. So Uranus is turning direct. Uranus, that revolutionary energy, that energy that kind of creates this creative chaos. It turned retrograde back in September. So, and it's been moving through Taurus for the past 7 years about. And now it's turning direct, and it's going to make its move towards the sign of Gemini, where it'll take its first dip into that sign in July. So think back to what's been happening between now, or what has happened between September and now, and maybe what's been shaken up in your relationship to money, to resources, to feelings of security and abundance. And there maybe has been some of that kind of chaotic feeling in those areas, particularly depending on where this is sitting in your chart. And now with Uranus turning direct, now I think is a time for us to look at where the cards have fallen and really step into the what's been opened up by some of the things that maybe have um, the ways that the rug's been pulled from under your feet. Um, Now there's this opening to move forward and start taking some quantum leaps in the way that you connect to resources and money, um, and your values. And so the other thing that's happening on that day is Jupiter will be trine the sun. And this is an indication that Jupiter will also soon be turning direct, which we'll talk about more next week. Um, and so this trine is a supportive energy. Jupiter is in Gemini, the sun is in Aquarius. And so this provides a nice social energy. And this can be a really good time to get curious in your communities, with friends and acquaintances, and start conversations. So getting curious about what is it that people need, and how does that fit into what you offer, and really just starting those conversations that can feel energizing both for you and the people that you're engaging in with. All right, and so our final transit we'll touch on today, is on February 1st. Venus will be conjunct Neptune. And so Venus is exalted in the sign of Pisces. Neptune is finishing up its time there. And so this energy of love and sweetness coming together with this Neptunian element of dissolving and really tapping into our imagination and feelings of compassion. This can be a beautiful time to connect with those you love, and maybe expanding your sense of love and expanding that out to include people who are not just in your intimate circles, and letting that heartfelt compassion reach out and ripple out to um, you know the people that you work with, the people that you're serving, your audience. And if you're really practiced in this, maybe you let it ripple out a little bit further, this kind of loving kindness meditation practice where you send love and compassion even to those that you have a difficult relationship with, and that can really open up your heart to bringing in new people into your business, into your world. So the other thing to just be aware of with the Neptune energy is also considering your boundaries, your energetic boundaries. So finding that balance between allowing yourself to feel compassion, and expanding that circle of love, while making sure that you are protecting the tender parts of yourself, um, from harm. So there's this kind of way of letting love expand from you while also being clear about what's okay or not okay, um, for how people interact with you. So just being really clear on that. That Neptune energy can also cause some low energy. So it can feel like a very dreamy, like out of time space. So you might just want to like get into some creative projects that don't require a lot of high energy. Um, yeah, so that is the week ahead. It's a lot. I would love to hear, what's shifting for you with Mercury going into Aquarius. What are your big picture, big visions for the future in your business, in your life, in your communities? And what kind of new moon intentions are you setting? I'd love to hear about that as well. And I also wanted to let you know about a special workshop I am doing this Friday. It's the Soul Business Breakthrough Lab. So there's space for 5 participants. We actually only have a couple of spots left. And in this, you get laser coaching, you get an astrology consultation. So basically, I'm going to be reading your chart and looking into what's your biggest challenge in your business right now. And we use your chart to take a quantum leap and get you a breakthrough right there on the call. So if you're interested in that, definitely grab a spot because we only have a few left, and the link is in the show notes here. So that's what I have for you today, and I will be back next week. But stay in touch in the group during the week. Let me know how these transits are impacting you. All right, take good care.